All right, welcome back in. 5:16 is the time in the Princeton Orthopedic Associates Studios. Cherry and White game coming up this Saturday at noon on 10th and Diamond at Edberg Olson Hall. And the head coach of the Temple Owls is Geoff Collins in his first season, and he's kind enough to hop on board with us right now. Coach Collins, we appreciate a few minutes. Thanks so much, and how are you?
Absolutely doing great, man. We just had practice number 14. Our kids have had a great spring, being physical, being tough. We've had a lot of fun. Just getting ready for a huge spring game on Saturday. Excited to see the turnout.
Now, you're trying to get a good first impression with the Temple community. Tell me a little bit more about spring ball and what your kids have done, not only on the field, but also off the field.
Well, I mean, there's so many things to talk about what they've done off the field. They've had a huge off-season conditioning-wise in the weight room, in our Temple Tough program that happened at 6 a.m. in the mornings. For 14 days of spring practice. The kids come to work every single day. They play hard. They play physical. They play with energy. They play with juice. And then almost every other day, our kids are out in the community, doing things for the people, doing things on campus to make the place, better. And so I couldn't be even more proud of these guys and how they go about their daily business. The amazing thing, too, is how they take care of their own locker room. The seniors have taken it upon themselves every single day after practice, once everybody's out, they themselves clean up the locker room, brooms, dustpans, and make it spotless. I think that's impressive. Nobody sees that. Nobody knows about it, but they do, and they take care of their business on a daily basis, and it's amazing.
Do you get some kids going up to coach's office and cleaning up coach's office as well?
God, that's a great idea. I'm going to have to implement that from now on.
Geoff Collins with us right now. So this Saturday, the fans get to see you, and they saw you at the bowl game, which was cool to see at the bowl game, and a lot of fans got to interact with you. But coming up this Saturday, if a fan comes out to your complex, what can they expect with the spring game?
Yeah, the big thing, Saturday's all about our players. It's not about me. It's just about the guys going out there, putting on a show. They've been working really, really hard. We average probably 100, 150 people out at practice, whether it be recruits, whether it be alumni, whatever the case may be. But this will be a big crowd and see them playing out there. The seniors that were a great group of seniors last year are gone. This will be a fresh new look, a fresh new team. So I think the guys that are rising seniors, establishing themselves as leaders, and then some fresh faces that people have been getting ready to see, will be front and center in front of our entire fan base.
Now everyone's getting ready to try to see those quarterbacks play on Saturday as well. You have 4 quarterbacks that are fighting for the starting job. Tell me a little bit about the quarterbacks and how they've been looking.
Yeah, I mean, we've got a great quarterback battle. We've got 4 really talented kids. They all have a little bit of a dynamic that's different from the other. But the big thing we've talked about the entire offseason is the leadership, the ability to affect other people on the team positively. Those guys have really gone every day to really do that, bring energy, bring juice, bring positive, deals with their teammates, see who moves the offense really well. We've played a lot of situations this spring and see who handles the different situations, the best. And they each have their days. They've each done a good job. The interesting thing for us, too, is I think the thing that's gone, not talked about as much, is we lose 3 starting linebackers. So that battle, especially me being a defensive guy, I think that's just as intriguing, as the quarterback battle, because that's a leadership position, and a bunch of guys have really stepped up into that role as well. And I think all those battles will continue through the summer and through the preseason as well.
With the quarterbacks, and you could just tell us right now, let's just say if Notre Dame was tomorrow, do you know who would be starting? Let's just say if you had to make that decision by tomorrow?
No, we got a bunch of guys that are competing. It's a great question. But we just go out every single day. We just talk about guys that are going to help us win. We're a top 25 championship program, and we expect every position on our team to play at that level. And the more guys that we can have, regardless of position, that can help us compete to be in the top 25 or even higher, winning championships, those are the guys that are going to play. And that's evaluated every day in practice, every day in meetings, every day in the weight room. Everything that we do around here matters. And their leadership ability and their ability to affect other people on the team, is paramount to our success.
There's a lot of high expectations for Anthony Russo. The fan base was really enamored with him when he signed on board at Temple University. What do you like so far with Russo, and what are some things that you still challenge him to do to improve on this early on knowing him?
Absolutely. I mean, the big thing with him is he's the prototypical quarterback. He's tall. He's got a big arm. He's got presence. He's intelligent. Really good work ethic, and just making sure every single day he's consistent, positively affecting his teammates, leading the offense, making the right checks, redirecting protections, and every day you see him getting better and better.
How about on the offensive line? How about your big boys up front protecting the quarterback, whoever that will be?
Yeah, the one kid, the center, we lost Brendan, so center Matt Hennessy is a young kid, but he's playing really, really well. The guards, Brian Carter, Sully, Jovan Fair have done a really good job helping Matt with the transition to be the center. And then I think Jalen Robinson is one that out of any player in our program has done a really good job. He's got big shoes to fill. And Dion, and then Leon on the other side, and then Cole Bouger. I think the offensive line has been a real bright spot for us, throughout the spring. We pride ourselves on being a physical, pounding, being able to run the ball whenever we want offense. And, those guys have really embraced that. And, it's exciting to see on a daily basis. We do team run every single day. And, we've got some really good D linemen and linebackers. And to watch that battle on a daily basis is just a blast.
That's encouraging to hear on the offensive line, because we all know that there are question marks at quarterback and then also the offensive line with who you lost from a year ago. But then when you look at the shirt things, those are running back and wide receiver. And I know you lose Jihad, but you have so much depth at running back and wide receiver. Must be fun to coach, right?
Absolutely. And then the nice thing is we play with a fullback. We arguably have one of the best fullbacks in college football in Nick Sharga. So to see him out there playing, and then we got Rock back there, tailback, and Jagger Gardner, who's 6'2", 215 pounds, coming downhill at you. And then, David Hood is a change-up, really slashy, dynamic runner. And then Tyreek Rayner, young kid, who really has come along this spring, really shows some burst, getting in and out of cuts, catching the ball out of the backfield. So we're just really excited about the kids. And the thing that you're proud about is how hard they work. They're unselfish. They play together. They come out and compete every single day. And then once the day is over, we're all back to being one team. It's really cool to be around.
Wrapping up with Geoff Collins, who joins us right now on the Zach Gelb Show, the Cherry and White game coming up this Saturday at noon. You mentioned a little bit about the linebackers defensively. We all know the brand of football Temple has played defensively the last few years, and you're a defensive guy. Evaluate your defense for me right now as we get ready for the spring game.
Yeah, I think the coaching staff this year has done a really good job, keeping some of the things that were really good around here in the past, even some of the terminology, and then sprinkling some stuff that we did at Florida, that we did at Mississippi State, and things that Coach Johnson's done at his stops. He's been at some really good places, and just that mix, and the guys really embracing it, picking it up. Obviously, they've seen the success that I've had as a coordinator, and they're in here all the time, picking my brain, and getting around the other defensive coaches, and it's been a really good mix. Champ, Delvon Randall having experience coming back, leading on the back end, and then the front four. Obviously we lose Hassan and some other really good players, but guys like Sharif Finch, Michael Dogby, Freddie Booth, they've done a really good job helping those young linebackers develop and, have some presence and some confidence.
Now, we started the conversation talking up about the players cleaning up their locker room, but when it comes to some of your coaches, and I know they're still getting acclimated to Philadelphia, did I hear that some of them have blow-up mattresses in their offices with your coaching staff?
Coach, they're here all the time. They're absolutely
I love
amazing.
that.
Yeah, these kids that come in here, they're gym rats. So they're here watching film at night. They're with our guys, whether it be in the film room playing ping pong, whatever the case may be. And I think the big thing we want to do is make sure we continue the culture of success that was here, making sure these kids know how much we care about them. There's a sign in every coach's office, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And the big thing we want to do is establish trust, and to make sure these kids know how much we care about them, how much we love them. And, after the, 4 months together, the love is real, it's genuine. And we truly care about these kids and want to see them be successful on and off the field. And I think the kids know it, they feel it, they sense it, they see it every single day. And, I'm just excited for Saturday when we come out on that field in front of our fans and have a great day.
And that's real genuine what you say, and we've seen it, and from people we talk to like Hassan and Dion, you really, even though you weren't their coach, you make them feel like that they're still the legends that they are in the program. For the draft coming up next week in Philadelphia, what are your plans, and do you get a little bit nervous as you get ready to see where Hassan and Dion are going to go?
No, I'm excited for them. The big thing, just meeting these guys. I followed this program very closely over the last 4 to 6 years. And so just to see these guys have the success that they're having, to hear the stories about Hassan and what his journey has brought him to be in the place that he is and to still be the amazing kid that he is. I've become very close with him. PJ, one of the all-time leading quarterbacks here at Temple University, become very close with him. And I'm excited for them. Whatever happens, they're legends at this place. And they will be treated like that as long as I'm here. And, they will always have a place to call home, and they feel as special as they are for the foundation they've laid for our entire program.
We'll be doing some shows at the draft. Are you going to the draft?
Yes, absolutely.
All right, we'll stop by. We'll have you on. It will be some fun conversations in Philadelphia, wrapping up with Geoff Collins, who's on board with us right now. So you come from Florida as the defensive coordinator there. We always know Florida puts a bunch of kids in the NFL. How about your kids at Florida, and who are you expecting to go in this year's draft?
Yeah, we had, arguably one of the top defenses in the country for the last 2 years. And it's not lost on me that we had some great players. So I get asked about the two corners, Quincy Wilson and Tease Tabor, big, long, physical, athletic kids, great feel for the game. We run an NFL-based defense, and so the things that they're going to need to do on Sundays, they did for us at the University of Florida, and they did it at a high level. Marcus May's been our starting safety for 2 years, arguably the best athlete on that defense for the last 2 years. He'll be coming off the board, I imagine, pretty soon. Then both linebackers are special. JD, number 40, the ultimate leader, has that Ray Lewis kind of presence. Can get the entire team going, get the entire program, the fan base, rally behind him. He can stand in front of the locker room and tell guys what to do, and they'll do whatever he says. Alex Anzalone, he's actually a kid from Reading, Pennsylvania, at Wyomissing High School. He's 6'3", 240, ran a 4.58 at the combine. He's a freakish athletic ability even after his junior year. And then we had 3 defensive linemen that were special to me. Caleb Brantley, who was a dynamic 3 technique that could just change a game, and saying that in the SEC really is saying something. And then Joey Ivey played nose guard for us, and he was a special kid, was a 3-year starter. And then you got Brian Cox. His dad was a famous NFL star.
Oh, sure, with the Patriots.
Arguably one of the hardest playing players that I've ever had the privilege to coach. Unstoppable motor, plays at a high level, great on special teams. So whatever team drafts it, man, I won't be, any happier than to see those kids have the success they deserve.
Now, in the conference that you play in and some of the teams that Florida always sees, you go up against some of the best talent in the nation. I know you got to prepare for Leonard Fournette a few times, and you also had to prepare for Dalvin Cook. What's it like to prepare for those 2 running backs?
Yeah, they're really good, and I think the
late nights,
the
right?
running back position is coming back in vogue in the NFL, and it couldn't be a better year than to have those 2 guys in the draft, which I think maybe we might see 3 tailbacks go off the board in the first round, which probably hadn't happened in a long time. And firsthand, I've played both of them the last 2 years. Leonard is a humongous human being with just tremendous physicality and speed, and when he hits you, you've been hit. And then Dalvin Cook is he can do everything. He can run the ball physical. He can run the ball side to side. When he breaks it, he's got home run speed. He's great in protection. He can catch the ball out of the backfield, which I know is premier, deal for the NFL. So I think, both of those backs, I think that they're going to go pretty high.
With Dalvin Cook and then also Joe Mixon, a lot's been made about their off-the-field issues. Since you are in charge of the Temple football team, and you're in charge of making sure that your kids represent the program not only on the field but also off the field in the right class. How do you just try to give all your kids the right resources? I know you can't baby them 24/7, but how do you give them the right resources to make sure that they handle themselves the right way off the field?
Sure. Well, I think the big thing is the culture that we've established in the program, and then constantly anticipating any issues, anticipating any scenarios, and educating our players. So a lot of these kids, haven't been in a situation where the draft is in Philadelphia, where you're a top 25 nationally ranked program and all the eyes are on you. So you constantly have to educate these kids because they're good kids. They want to make good decisions. We need to prep them and show them right from wrong, and we do that on a daily basis. We actually had a team meeting yesterday to talk about the draft, to talk about what's going to happen in Philadelphia over the weekend, and especially with all of our alumni coming back for the spring game, making sure they understand what's permissible, what's right, what's wrong, and just anticipating, educating, and knowing that the kids know that we love them, we care for them, we're here for them, and we want what's best for them. I think are all huge points.
And you talk about some of the people that have been with the program before. We all know that, unfortunately, Wayne Hardin, who lived a great life and coached many great football players, did pass away. What was your relationship like with Coach in the short time, and are you guys doing anything special for him this upcoming season?
Absolutely. So he was here. We had a big alumni day the week before he passed. He was there. He was at the practice. When I actually got done with practice and did the meeting and then came up to speak to the former players, he had just gotten finished speaking, and you could tell the emotion in the room, how much the guys in the room cared for him, loved him, and it was a special moment. So the entire speech, I kept referring back to Coach Hardin, thanking him for all he had done for this university and for the program. And he told me that he was so impressed by the way our practice was run, how hard our players play, how organized it was, and hearing that from a legend, was special to me. And then after that, this last weekend, Bill Belichick had an interview on CNBC. It was a phenomenal interview. A lot of it had to do with his dad, Bill Belichick's dad, and it showed an image that I tweeted out of Coach Hardin.
He loves
in
Hardin.
His Navy coaching attire, and was on the Bill Belichick special, and how much that experience impacted his life. And so I know Coach Hardin had a part to do with that, and a part to do with this great university and the players that have come through it.
Yeah, Belichick said he was one of the biggest, talking about Coach Hardin, one of the biggest influences, and we've seen what Coach Belichick has become. But, Coach, we appreciate it. We'll be looking forward to your team all year long. And, by the way, whenever you want to break the news of who will be playing quarterback this year, just give us a call, okay?
Thanks, guys.
All right, thanks so much. There's Geoff Collins joining us on the Zach Gelb Show, Fox Sports 920 The Jersey. I got a chance to meet Coach Wayne Hardin a few times. Just a tremendous man that always loved Temple football. And I shared this story when he did pass away, and we found that out right before we came on the air that day. I will never forget when Temple beat Penn State. And when I was doing the call, I mentioned Coach Wayne Hardin. I mentioned some of the alum, that have been a part of this program, from Steve Joachim, Paul Palmer, Steve Conjar, Henry Burris, some of these names that have been a part, Dan Klecko, Raheem Brock, Joe Klecko, just to name a few that have been a part of this program, just because I know how badly the fan base wanted to see Temple beat Penn State and how long it was, being that at the time it was the first time in 74 years. And I thought it was important to document all the names that have tried to do it and all the names that wanted to see it happen. And I thought Matt Rule did just something great after that game when he went into the parking lot, because Wayne Hardin, you walk in a Temple parking lot the day of the game, guarantee you he's there. He was always there. And you'd see him tailgating with his former players. That was the type of man that he was. And I remember after that game, Hardin was in the parking lot and everyone was celebrating. It was a raucous atmosphere. It was just a sense of euphoria. And Matt Rule had a game ball and gave it to Coach Hardin and said, "This is for you, Coach." I thought that was great of Matt Rule. And I also got a chance to meet Roger Staubach once. And this was right before, it's a little over a year ago, I want to say, when Coach was turning 90. And Staubach was telling me about how they were preparing a 90th birthday party for the coach. And we know Coach, not that long ago, passed away at the age of 91. Just a really nice man. And you saw that the loud ovation that he got when he was inducted into the College Football Hall of Fame. And is someone that was on the field for coaching Navy and coaching Temple. Was someone that was at the American Athletic Conference Championship game. They had him do the coin toss. But fun to talk to Geoff Collins, as the Cherry and White game once again is Saturday at noon, and then the NFL Draft coming up next week. Just a reminder, we'll be at the Draft Thursday and Friday, as we'll be doing 2 live shows from the Draft, 4 to 6 p.m., so it should be fun. As actually that Thursday, a busy day for me. I don't want to bore you with my schedule, but Thursday I'm actually a part of a radio summit. Jody Mack's going to be there. A few other radio hosts, as the radio station I was at last year as a college student was WHIP, and they're having a radio summit. So if you're an aspiring broadcaster, you get to hear from some broadcasters. I don't know how I made the list, but they ended up extending the invite, and I will gladly attend. So I'll do that in the morning, and then in the afternoon, it's a little taxi ride away. Take the subway. It's going to be a mess traffic-wise, and we'll do the show live from the NFL Draft. You'll have the Rocky Steps. You'll have the Ben Franklin Parkway. It's going to be fun. Philadelphia is going to be bright and center. And I can't wait for the Eagles fans that are in attendance when Roger Goodell gets up for the number 1 pick. The Cleveland Browns select, and Roger Goodell is just met with hellacious, "Boo! You suck, Roger! Boo!" Oh, that's going to be great. I can't wait for the commissioner to get his, and especially in Philadelphia. Everyone in Philly, they love to boo at things, and the commissioner may get some cheesesteaks thrown at him, who knows, but definitely will getting his good dose of booze in Philadelphia. They'll be booing the commissioner. 5:37 is the time in the Princeton Orthopedic Associates Studios. Zach Gelb Show, Fox Sports 920 The Jersey. When we come back, what position will the Eagles draft? What position will the Giants draft? And the Jets, who knows what position they will draft. We'll get into that. Also talk a little Tiger Woods, as he had some surgery. And we'll give you the Mets and Phillies lineup for that game today. And, of course, we'll give you a prediction for the Rangers, Game 5 in this opening round of the Stanley Cup playoffs. Zach Gelb Show, 5:37 is the time. We'll take a quickie break, and we'll be back right after this. Your phone calls as well, 609-919-9200. If that was a little bit too fast for you, I'll give it to you slowly. 609-919-9200. Pick up the phone. Give us a call.